Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself even when no one else does. Every great achievement in history began with someone who refused to give up on their dream despite doubt, criticism, or failure. Your current situation does not define your future. Your mistakes do not define your worth. Your past does not decide your destiny. There will be days when you feel tired, discouraged, and ready to quit. On those days, remember that success is not built by people who never fail. It is built by people who keep going after every setback. Every challenge you face is preparing you for a stronger version of yourself. Stop comparing your journey to someone else's. Everyone has a different path, a different pace, and a different purpose. Focus on becoming a little better than you were yesterday. Small, consistent steps create extraordinary results over time. Confidence is not believing that everything will be easy. Confidence is believing that you can handle whatever comes your way. Trust your abilities, develop your skills, and keep learning. Every effort you make today is an investment in the person you are becoming. Do not wait for perfect conditions before taking action. Start where you are, use what you have, and give your best every single day. Progress is always more powerful than perfection. The courage to begin is often the first step towards greatness. Remember, the strongest people are not those who never struggle. They are the ones who refuse to let struggle define them. Every obstacle is an opportunity to grow wiser, stronger, and more resilient. Speak to yourself with hope instead of fear. Replace "I can't" with "I will learn." Replace "I'm not good enough" with "I'm getting better every day." Your words shape your mindset, and your mindset shapes your future. Your dreams are possible if you are willing to work for them. Stay disciplined when motivation fades. Stay focused when distractions appear. Stay faithful to your goals when progress seems slow. Success belongs to those who keep moving forward. Today, make a decision. Believe in yourself, believe in your potential, and believe that your best days are still ahead. The world needs the unique gifts, talents, and purpose that only you can offer. Never underestimate what can happen when you choose courage over fear, action over excuses, and faith in yourself over doubt. Believe in yourself, because the moment you do, you begin to unlock the life you are truly capable of living. One of the greatest battles you will ever fight is not against poverty, competition, criticism, or failure. The greatest battle is the one that takes place inside your own mind. Every dream begins with a belief long before it becomes a reality. Before the world can recognize your value, you must first recognize it yourself. Too many people spend their entire lives waiting for someone else to approve of them, encourage them, or tell them they are capable. They postpone their dreams because they are waiting for permission to become who they were meant to be. But confidence is never handed to you by other people. It is developed through the decision to trust your own potential. The moment you stop looking for validation from the outside and begin building conviction on the inside, your entire life starts to change. Believing in yourself is not arrogance. It is the acceptance that you possess abilities waiting to be developed, talents waiting to be refined, and possibilities waiting to be discovered. Every human being enters this world with untapped potential. Potential is like a seed. A seed does not look impressive when you hold it in your hand, but hidden inside it is an entire forest. In the same way, your current situation does not reveal everything you are capable of becoming. Your education, your background, your age, your financial condition, or the opinions of other people cannot measure your true capacity. Many individuals judge themselves by what they have accomplished so far instead of what they are capable of accomplishing in the future. That is one of the greatest mistakes anyone can make. Your future is not limited by your present circumstances. Your future is shaped by the choices you make, the discipline you develop, and the confidence you build every single day. Greatness always begins as invisible potential before it becomes visible success. Many people underestimate themselves because they compare their beginning to someone else's finish. They scroll through social media, watch successful people, and immediately conclude that they are not talented enough, intelligent enough, or fortunate enough to succeed. Comparison is one of the fastest ways to destroy confidence because it shifts your focus away from your own growth. Every successful person you admire once stood exactly where you are now, uncertain, inexperienced, and full of questions. The difference is that they kept moving while others kept doubting themselves. Your journey was never designed to be identical to anyone else's. You have your own pace, your own lessons, your own challenges, and your own opportunities. Stop measuring your progress by someone else's timeline. Instead, measure yourself against the person you were yesterday. Real success is becoming a better version of yourself every day. One of the reasons people fail to believe in themselves is because they allow their past mistakes to define their identity. Everyone has experienced disappointment. Everyone has made decisions they wish they could change. Everyone has failed at something important. But failure is an event, not an identity. A mistake is something you did, not someone you are. The moment you begin labeling yourself by your failures, you limit your own future. Every setback carries valuable lessons that cannot be learned from success alone. The strongest individuals are not those who never fall. They are those who rise every time life knocks them down. Instead of asking why something happened to you, ask what it is trying to teach you. Every challenge contains wisdom, every disappointment builds resilience, and every obstacle develops strength that comfort could never produce. Your mind is the control center of your life. Everything you accomplish begins as a thought. If your thinking is filled with doubt, fear, and limitation, your actions will reflect those beliefs. But if your thinking is filled with possibility, purpose, and confidence, your behavior begins to change. This is why protecting your mindset is one of the most important responsibilities you have. Be careful about the words you repeatedly speak to yourself. If you constantly tell yourself that you are not good enough, your mind eventually accepts that statement as truth. Replace destructive thoughts with empowering ones. Tell yourself that you are learning, growing, improving, and becoming stronger every day. Confidence grows through repeated positive actions and repeated positive thinking. Believing in yourself also requires accepting responsibility for your own life. It is easy to blame circumstances, other people, bad luck, or difficult environments. While many challenges are real, they do not have to determine your future. The people who transform their lives are those who take ownership of their decisions. They stop waiting for perfect conditions and begin creating opportunities where they are. Responsibility is powerful because it shifts your attention from what you cannot control to what you can control. You may not control every event that happens around you, but you always control your response. That response determines whether you remain stuck or continue growing. Fear has prevented more dreams than lack of ability ever has. Many talented individuals never discover what they are capable of because they allow fear to become their leader. They fear rejection, criticism, embarrassment, failure, and uncertainty. But courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the decision to move forward despite fear. Every successful person has experienced moments of uncertainty. The difference is that they refuse to allow fear to make their decisions. Fear always exaggerates the risks while ignoring the opportunities. It whispers that you are not ready. Growth reminds you that you become ready by taking action. Every step outside your comfort zone expands your confidence and reveals abilities you never knew you possessed. Confidence is built through preparation, not wishful thinking. Many people hope to become successful without investing in personal growth. They desire extraordinary results while maintaining ordinary habits. Believing in yourself does not mean assuming success will happen automatically. It means believing that if you continue learning, practicing, improving, and remaining disciplined, you will eventually reach your goals. Excellence is never accidental. It is the result of consistent effort repeated over long periods of time. Every book you read, every skill you practice, every mistake you learn from, and every challenge you overcome strengthens your confidence because you know you are becoming more capable than you were yesterday. Discipline often matters more than motivation. Motivation feels exciting, but it comes and goes. Discipline remains even when excitement disappears. The people who accomplish extraordinary things are not always the most motivated. They are often the most consistent. They continue working when they feel tired. They continue learning when progress feels slow. They continue believing in themselves when results are not immediately visible. Remember that every great achievement is built one day at a time. Small actions repeated consistently produce remarkable transformations. Never underestimate the power of daily improvement. One of the greatest forms of confidence is refusing to let other people's opinions determine your identity. Throughout your life, you will encounter critics who doubt your abilities and question your dreams. Some people criticize because they cannot imagine achieving what you are pursuing. Others project their own fears onto your future. If you allow every opinion to shape your decisions, you will spend your entire life living according to someone else's expectations instead of your own purpose. Listen to constructive advice, but never surrender your vision simply because someone else cannot see what you see. Your future belongs to those who are willing to believe in possibilities long before they become visible. Success is not reserved for people with perfect backgrounds, perfect education, or perfect opportunities. History repeatedly shows that ordinary people who develop extraordinary belief often outperform individuals with greater advantages but weaker confidence. Your greatest resource is not your money, your connections, or your circumstances. Your greatest resource is your mindset. A determined mind finds solutions where others only see problems. An optimistic mind discovers opportunities hidden inside difficulties. A disciplined mind continues moving forward regardless of temporary setbacks. There will be seasons when your progress seems invisible. You will work hard without immediate results. You will invest time without receiving recognition. During those moments, many people become discouraged because they mistake slow progress for failure. But growth often happens beneath the surface before it becomes visible. Just as a tree develops strong roots underground before its branches reach the sky, your character, discipline, knowledge, and resilience are developing even when no one else notices. Never quit simply because you cannot yet see the results. Invisible progress is still progress. Remember that confidence is strengthened every time you keep a promise to yourself. If you say you will wake up early, do it. If you decide to study, complete the task. If you commit to improving your health, remain consistent. Every promise you keep builds trust between you and yourself. Eventually, your mind begins to believe that you are a person who follows through. That self-trust becomes one of the strongest foundations of lasting confidence. On the other hand, repeatedly breaking promises to yourself slowly weakens your belief in your own abilities. Build confidence through integrity with yourself. The people who leave lasting impact on the world are rarely those who waited until they felt completely ready. They are the people who accepted uncertainty, embraced learning, and moved forward despite imperfections. Waiting for perfect conditions often becomes an excuse for lifelong delay. There will always be another reason to postpone your dream if you allow fear to guide your decisions. Begin with what you have. Use the knowledge you possess today. Take the next step instead of worrying about the 100th step. Momentum is created through action, not hesitation. Always remember that your life is too valuable to be lived according to doubt. You possess strengths that have not yet been fully discovered, abilities that have not yet been completely developed, and opportunities that have not yet appeared. Every new day gives you another chance to improve your thinking, strengthen your character, expand your knowledge, and move closer to your goals. Refuse to let temporary failures convince you that permanent success is impossible. Refuse to let criticism silence your vision. Refuse to let fear become stronger than your dreams. Believe in yourself, not because the journey will always be easy, but because you have the ability to grow through every challenge, rise after every setback, learn from every experience, and become the person you are capable of becoming through persistence, discipline, courage, and unwavering confidence. Many people spend years underestimating themselves because they judge their future by their present condition. They look at their bank account, their education, their background, their mistakes, or the opinions of others and conclude that they are ordinary. But your circumstances are only a snapshot of where you are, not a prophecy of where you can go. A seed buried in the ground does not look like a forest, yet within that small seed is the potential for thousands of trees. In the same way, there is more inside you than what is currently visible. The tragedy of life is not a lack of talent. It is living and dying without discovering the greatness that was already placed within you. When you begin to recognize your true potential, you stop speaking about yourself as if you are limited, and you start preparing yourself for possibilities that once seemed impossible. Potential is never announced by appearance. It is revealed through development. A piece of iron may appear ordinary, but when refined, shaped, and sharpened, it becomes something of great value. Your abilities work the same way. The skills you have today are only the beginning. What matters is your willingness to learn, practice, and grow. Do not insult your future by assuming that your current level is your final level. Every expert was once inexperienced. Every leader was once unknown. And every achiever was once a beginner. The difference between those who remain average and those who rise is that one group believes there is more inside them waiting to be developed. Never allow temporary weakness to make permanent decisions about your future. There is a version of you that has not yet fully appeared, a stronger version, a wiser version, a more disciplined version, a more confident version. That person is not created out of nothing. That person is already hidden within you, waiting for the right choices to bring them forward. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to uncover another layer of your potential. Difficulties are not always designed to stop you. Many times they are designed to reveal you. Pressure exposes strength. Responsibility develops capacity. Obstacles often force you to discover abilities you would never have found in comfort. Stop asking whether you are capable and start asking how much of your capability still remains undiscovered. One of the greatest mistakes people make is waiting for someone else to confirm their value before they believe in themselves. They wait for applause, recognition, titles, or approval, but confidence that depends on other people will disappear whenever criticism arrives. True confidence begins when you understand that your worth is not determined by public opinion. A person who knows their value walks differently, thinks differently, and acts differently because they are no longer begging the world to tell them who they are. They have accepted that they were born with purpose, ability, and the capacity to make a meaningful contribution. The moment you stop looking outward for permission and start looking inward for conviction, your mindset changes from limitation to possibility. Imagine what would happen if you truly believed that your life was meant for more than survival. Imagine waking up each morning with the conviction that you are capable of learning new skills, overcoming old fears, and creating a future greater than your past. That belief changes everything. It changes the way you speak, the way you study, the way you work, and the way you respond to failure. Instead of saying, I can't do this, you begin saying, I can learn this. Instead of saying, people like me never succeed, you begin saying, my background does not decide my destiny. Your potential is not a small thing. It is a vast, largely unexplored territory. The world may see only a fraction of what you can become, but you must never make the mistake of seeing yourself through the eyes of limitation. See yourself through the eyes of possibility and then commit your life to becoming everything you were capable of becoming. Self-doubt is one of the most expensive obstacles a person can carry because it quietly steals opportunities long before failure ever has the chance to. It convinces intelligent people that they are not smart enough, talented people that they are not gifted enough, and capable people that they are not ready enough. The greatest tragedy is that many dreams never disappear because of lack of ability. They disappear because the dreamer stopped believing before the journey truly began. Your mind can become either your greatest ally or your greatest enemy. If you constantly repeat thoughts of fear and inadequacy, your actions will begin to reflect those beliefs. But the moment you decide to challenge those limiting thoughts, instead of accepting them, you begin taking back control of your future. Every remarkable achievement starts with someone refusing to let self-doubt become the final authority over their life. Fear has a unique way of making small obstacles appear enormous. It exaggerates every possible risk while hiding every possible reward. It tells you that if you try, you might fail, but it never tells you that if you never try, you have already guaranteed failure. Think about how many opportunities people lose simply because they were afraid to apply for the position, start the business, speak in front of an audience, learn a new skill, or pursue the dream they had carried for years. Fear often disguises itself as caution, but in reality, it becomes a prison that keeps potential locked away. The purpose of courage is not to eliminate fear. Courage exists to ensure that fear never becomes the decision maker in your life. Every time you choose action over hesitation, you weaken fear's influence and strengthen your confidence. One of the greatest habits you can develop is learning to replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones. Many people unknowingly become prisoners of the words they repeatedly say to themselves. Statements like, "I'm not good enough," "I always fail," "I'm too late," or "someone else can do it better," slowly shape the way they see themselves. Your mind believes what you consistently feed it. If you constantly focus on your limitations, you will overlook your strengths. Instead, begin changing your internal conversation. Tell yourself, "I am learning, I am improving, I can develop this skill, I can become stronger, I can overcome this challenge." These are not empty affirmations. They are reminders that growth is always possible for someone who refuses to stop learning. Your future begins to change the moment your thinking begins to change. It is important to understand that confidence is not something you suddenly wake up with one morning. Confidence is earned through repeated action. Every challenge you face and overcome becomes evidence that you are capable of handling even greater responsibilities. Every difficult conversation you have, every presentation you deliver, every new skill you learn, and every obstacle you overcome sends a powerful message to your mind. I can do hard things. This is why action is so important. Waiting until you feel confident before taking action often leads to endless delay. Instead, take action while you are still uncertain. Confidence grows after action, not before it. The more experiences you accumulate, the more proof you gather that you are stronger, wiser, and more capable than you once believed. Never allow temporary fear to create permanent limitations in your life. Every successful individual has stood at the edge of uncertainty, wondering whether they were good enough, prepared enough, or capable enough. The difference is not that they never experienced fear. The difference is that they refused to surrender to it. They understood that every great opportunity lies just beyond the comfort zone. Every meaningful achievement requires stepping into unfamiliar territory. If you spend your life avoiding discomfort, you will also avoid growth. But if you choose to face your fears one decision at a time, you will discover that most of the barriers you thought existed were created by your own doubts. Believe that you are capable of learning what you do not yet know, overcoming what you have not yet conquered, and becoming far more than you currently imagine. The moment you stop allowing fear to define your decisions is the moment you begin living according to your true potential instead of your perceived limitations. Believing in yourself is not simply about feeling confident when everything is going well. Real confidence is built through consistent discipline and continuous personal growth. Many people wait until they feel motivated before they take action, but motivation is unpredictable. Some days it is strong, and other days it disappears without warning. If your future depends only on how you feel, your progress will always be uncertain. The people who accomplish extraordinary things understand that discipline is more dependable than emotion. They make commitments and honor them whether they feel excited or not. They wake up and continue working on their goals even when the results are invisible. This is how genuine self-belief is formed, not by wishing for success, but by proving to yourself every day that you are someone who keeps moving forward regardless of circumstances. Confidence is earned through preparation. Imagine two people standing before the same opportunity. One has spent months learning, practicing, and improving, while the other has spent those same months making excuses and waiting for the perfect moment. When the opportunity arrives, the prepared person steps forward with confidence, not because they think they know everything, but because they know they have done the work. Preparation removes unnecessary fear because it gives your mind evidence that you are capable. Every book you read, every skill you practice, every lesson you learn, and every challenge you overcome becomes another brick in the foundation of your confidence. Success is rarely an accident. It is usually the visible result of countless unseen hours of disciplined effort. Personal growth also requires humility. One of the greatest mistakes people make is believing they already know enough. The moment you stop learning, you stop growing. Every successful individual remains a lifelong student because they understand that knowledge expands possibilities. There is always another skill to develop, another perspective to understand, another habit to improve, and another level of excellence to pursue. Growth is not about becoming someone else. It is about becoming the fullest version of yourself. Every day offers an opportunity to become wiser than yesterday. Even your failures become valuable teachers when you are willing to learn from them instead of allowing them to discourage you. A person who continues learning will never remain limited for long because growth constantly expands their capacity. One of the most powerful ways to strengthen self-belief is by keeping promises to yourself. Every time you decide to wake up earlier, complete a task, finish a project, or stay committed to a goal, and you actually follow through, you send a powerful message to your own mind: I am reliable. Over time, these small victories create enormous confidence. Unfortunately, the opposite is also true. When people repeatedly make promises to themselves and then break them, they slowly lose trust in their own ability to follow through. This is why small disciplines matter. They may seem insignificant in the moment, but they are shaping your identity. Great achievements are built upon countless ordinary decisions made consistently. The person who masters daily discipline eventually masters far greater responsibilities because they have first learned to master themselves. Never underestimate the power of consistent improvement. You do not have to become extraordinary overnight. In fact, lasting success rarely happens that way. It is the result of countless small decisions repeated faithfully over time. One extra page read each day, one additional skill practice, one meaningful conversation, one healthy choice, one completed task. These may appear insignificant on their own, but together they transform your future. A river does not carve through rock because of one powerful wave. It does so through continuous flow. In the same way, your character, confidence, and competence are shaped by what you repeatedly do, not by what you occasionally attempt. When you commit yourself to disciplined growth, you stop depending on temporary inspiration because your habits begin carrying you toward your goals. Eventually, you reach a point where your confidence is no longer based on hope alone. It is supported by the undeniable evidence of who you have become through persistence, consistency, and an unwavering commitment to becoming better every single day. One of the quickest ways to lose confidence is to spend your life comparing yourself to other people. Comparison has the power to make you overlook your own progress while becoming obsessed with someone else's achievements. You see another person's success, but you rarely see the years of sacrifice, failure, discipline, and perseverance that made it possible. You compare your beginning to their middle or your struggle to their success, and then you unfairly conclude that you are falling behind. But every meaningful journey is unique. Your life was never designed to be an exact copy of someone else's. You have your own strengths to develop, your own challenges to overcome, and your own contribution to make. The moment you stop measuring your life against another person's path, you free yourself to focus on becoming the best version of who you were created to be. The world often encourages people to compete for attention, recognition, and approval, but lasting fulfillment does not come from trying to outshine everyone else. It comes from discovering and maximizing your own potential. Think of an orchestra. Every instrument has a different sound, a different role, and a different moment to be heard. The violin does not compete with the piano, and the trumpet does not try to imitate the flute. Each produces its greatest impact by fulfilling its own purpose with excellence. Human life works the same way. Your value is not determined by how closely you resemble someone else. Your value is revealed when you develop your own abilities with commitment and excellence. Trying to become someone else will only distract you from becoming the person you are truly capable of becoming. Another danger of comparison is that it causes people to celebrate appearances instead of pursuing real growth. Many individuals admire the visible rewards of success while ignoring the invisible process that produced them. They want the recognition without the preparation, the influence without the discipline, and the achievements without the years of consistent effort. This mindset creates frustration because it focuses on results instead of development. Instead of asking, "Why am I not where they are?" ask yourself, "What can I learn today that will move me one step closer to my own goals?" Growth is not about catching up with someone else. Growth is about making sure you are moving forward from where you are today. Every day that you improve, no matter how small the progress seems, you are building a future that belongs uniquely to you. Your greatest competition is not another person. It is the person you were yesterday. If you know more today than you knew yesterday, you are progressing. If your character is stronger, your discipline is greater, your thinking is wiser, and your habits are healthier than they were before, then you are already succeeding. Real success is measured by continuous personal improvement, not by public comparison. When you focus on becoming better each day, you stop wasting energy on envy and begin investing your energy in growth. Small improvements may not attract immediate applause, but over time, they create extraordinary transformation. The people who consistently improve themselves eventually achieve results that once seemed impossible because they chose progress over comparison.